The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the reinforced container hit the crystalline floor with a wet thud. Ambassador Marcus Webb stood at the podium, his weathered face carved from stone, hands clasped behind his back in parade rest. The container leaked purple ichor across the pristine white tiles. What is the meaning of this barbarism? High Counselor Vaxtrian's translator chirped, though his 4 eyes couldn't look away from the severed head of Security Commander Xylith floating in preservation fluid. You dare bring that into these sacred halls. Sacred? Marcus's voice was quiet, dangerous. You want to talk about sacred, Counselor? 3 weeks earlier, the human colony on Proxima 7 had been thriving. 2,000 souls carving out an existence on a world the galactic community had deemed marginally habitable, which for humans meant paradise. They'd built schools, farms, and futures. The children played in gravity twice what the Council species considered survivable. Then Security Commander Xylith arrived for a routine inspection. The Valorians were one of the Council's enforcement arms, evolved on a low-gravity moon with atmosphere so pure that Earth's air would poison them. They viewed themselves as the galaxy's peacekeepers, maintaining order among the lesser species. They viewed humans as primitives who'd stumbled into space travel through luck rather than merit. Commander Xylith had strutted through the colony with her security detail, her elongated limbs moving with predatory grace in the powered exoskeleton that kept Proxima 7's gravity from crushing her. The colonists had been cooperative, eager even. Humans always were when it came to official business. They understood rules, hierarchies, the social contracts that kept civilizations functioning. Then 8-year-old Emma Rodriguez ran past, laughing as she chased her dog through the market square. She bumped into Commander Xylith's leg, a child's accidental collision that wouldn't have bruised a human. The Valerian officer had stumbled, her exoskeleton compensators whining. And in that moment of perceived disrespect, of challenge to her authority, Xylith had struck. The backhand sent Emma flying 6 meters into a concrete wall. The sound of the child's skull cracking echoed through the marketplace. The silence that followed was absolute, primal. Even the dog stopped barking. Emma died before her mother reached her. Commander Xylith had straightened her uniform, issued a citation for failure to control dependence, and returned to her ship. By galactic law, she was within her rights. Officers of the Council were sacrosanct, their persons inviolable. The death was ruled accidental, a regrettable but legally sound response to physical assault on an enforcement officer. The Council had no idea what they'd done. Humans were new to the galactic stage, barely 2 generations removed from their first faster-than-light drive. The galaxy saw them as oddities, Deathworlders who'd evolved in a hellscape of crushing gravity, toxic atmosphere, and predators that had forced them to become pursuit hunters. Most species couldn't understand why anyone would want to leave such a world. Humans couldn't understand why anyone would want to stay on the sterile, safe bubbles the rest of the galaxy called home. But what the Council didn't understand, what they'd failed to grasp in all their dealings with humanity, was the one rule humans held above all others: you don't hurt the children. Marcus Webb had been career military before becoming a diplomat. So had half the human delegation to the Galactic Council. They understood chain of command, rules of engagement, the delicate balance of interstellar politics. They'd bent over backward to integrate humanity into galactic society, accepting insults, navigating prejudice, proving that Deathworlders could be civilized. Emma's death changed the equation. The strike team that hit Commander Xylith's flagship was never officially acknowledged. 6 humans in unmarked armor, moving through corridors designed for species that feared sharp corners and hard edges. The Valerian security forces were trained, disciplined, equipped with technology centuries ahead of Earth's. They never stood a chance. Humans didn't just fight, they'd been doing that since before they discovered fire. They'd turned warfare into an art form, evolving dozens of martial disciplines, writing treatises on tactics that were studied across their world. A species that had survived saber-toothed cats, ice ages, and their own tendency toward self-destruction. The strike team moved like water through the ship, their augmented reflexes and natural durability letting them operate in environments that would kill most council species. They didn't announce themselves, didn't make demands. They had one objective. They found Commander Xylith in her quarters, surrounded by the honors and commendations of a distinguished career. The fight lasted 4 seconds. The team leader, a woman named Jackson who'd lost her own daughter years before, personally delivered the killing blow. Then they took Xylitha's head and returned to Proxima 7. Now Marcus stood before the Galactic Council, that head resting between them like an accusation. "You want to talk about sacred," he repeated. "Let me tell you what's sacred to humans. Our children are sacred. Our future is sacred. And when you kill a child, when you kill our child and call it legal, you learn what humans really are. This is an act of war." Vaxtrian's chromatophores flashed angry red. "We will not be intimidated by your barbaric." "Then declare it." Marcus's interruption silenced the chamber. "Declare war on humanity. Send your fleets to Earth. We're 2 generations into space travel, primitives by your standards. It should be easy." The counselors shifted uncomfortably. They'd seen the reports. Humans had carved colonies out of worlds that should have killed them. Their ships were crude but effective, built with a redundancy that bordered on paranoid. Their soldiers trained for combat in environments most species needed life support to survive. Or, Marcus continued, his voice softening, "You can understand this, we didn't want this. We came to the stars looking for friends, for knowledge, for a place in this grand community you've built. We're willing to follow your laws, respect your customs, be the junior partners in this relationship. But we have one law that supersedes all others: you don't hurt children. Not ours, not anyone's." Commander Xylith forgot that. She learned. He looked down at the severed head, then back at the council. "The choice is yours. Declare us criminals, come for us, and learn why Deathworlders survive. Or accept that humanity plays by civilized rules until someone forgets the most basic rule of all: protect the innocent. We're happy to be your partners, your allies, your friends. But we will never be victims." Marcus Webb turned and walked from the chamber, leaving Commander Xylitha's head as a monument to the truth the galaxy was only beginning to understand: humans didn't conquer their death world by being civilized. They became civilized despite conquering their death world. And when pushed, when their children were threatened, the death world came roaring back. The Galactic Council never filed charges. The incident was quietly buried in bureaucratic archives, listed as resolved through diplomatic channels. And across human space, a new saying emerged: they thought we were civilized. Then they touched our children. Now they know better.